Hello and welcome back to this YouTube video about part 2 about the Flint format in JSON. We're looking again with the second test. It's about a custom behavior on use an item on a fence. Like last time, I was not really focusing on the player part in the setup, but this time it's really important and we will use it. So the player has an inventory. The inventory are the hotbar between 1 and 9 and the armor slots and the offhand. And you also can have a selected hotbar from the start of it. Now we have our action types, like this one you already saw, and we have now the use item on, the sets slot, and the select hotbar. All three we are using this time, so no worries here. Each of them I will put in the category inventory because at the end it manages the inventory or uses the inventory. So we use item on, we have a position, we have a phase, and we have an item. The item is an optional, that means you don't need to use it, but for that be coming later. I will show you in the test because it has some reasons you need to do some workaround for that. Because use item on with the item does the set slot and select hotbar, for example, directly for you. Then we have a set slot. The set slot is the same like we have in the setup in the player. That means the hotbar, the armor slots, and the offhand, then which items and how many of it. And the select hotbar, yes, I know there's a spelling mistake. It has a slot between 1 and 9 and it selects which hotbar slot it should use. So looking again into the use item on fence, we're using a custom behavior. That means we use replacing a single fence, no stone below it, but directly using one fence. Then we're clicking on the fence with an item that makes all connections, and click again, okay, then a second spelling mistake. Click again on the fence with all an item, removes all that connections. I will show now a short video, hopefully, and you will see how this test will look like and its custom behavior will look like. Now coming back to our JSON, we will create a new JSON file. It's fence custom v1 JSON, and then I will directly copy some things. And in the first version we're doing that easy simple setup. That means we have a custom fence behavior, Flint version, schema, we have tags, we have already Minecraft IDs and the setup, which will not touch. Then we have a timeline, and again I will use and copy some things. So replacing here again the fence and assert the fence, what I already showed you last video. So now using an item on it, do use item on. I like to write it position. That's the position of the block. Then the facing, I like the top for most of the time. And the item is a Minecraft stone. Now we copy an assert, because now all the connections like you saw in the video should be true, and we're seeing it's when and the waterlogged is false. Then we will use now without an item, add 2, do use item on, again the same position, face, top, item, and Minecraft Air is mostly or is an empty item slot, but this is not easy to read when I created the placeholder empty. That means it's better readable and does the same thing. And we have an assert at the end. Again, that means all connections here are false. It means this file now is what we want to accept and what this version should be. I have here the wrong fence, connect custom v1, forgot to use the name, but again we have a cleaning area. This is only this block, then replacing this block and checking is the default behavior from vanilla working, so that means it's false everything when we're using the item on, and checking is it true or false, and then we have our custom, and clicking again with an empty item slot, and then it should be back to a vanilla behavior. Now we're doing a new file with version 2, custom v2.json. We will directly copying here the first part of it because that's what we need, and we're changing here the file name. So this time we will use the player. The player has an inventory, and be doing here the hotbar 1, count of 1, and the ID is Minecraft Air, for example, and the hotbar 2 will be Minecraft Stone again, so we are at the end similar. Count is 1. So then we need, for example, for use item on without an item, we need to select the slot because we want to here using the item on it at 1 do use item on face top position as same of a block, and here we don't specify the item. If we don't have here an item, that means the item is none for this, and it uses the selected hotbar, and the selected hotbar is always 1 in the beginning, but that is air. So now we have two options to select the stone. We have here select hotbar, but try typing here a 2 in, or we can use the action 0 do select hotbar, and the slot will be here too. These two things here are at the end with same thing and doing the same thing. That means you should decide which one you want to do. I would recommend this one here, but this is when you need to switch later. What you will now focus also, because now we assert it, and hopefully it should be the stone behavior, because we're selecting here slot 2 and here slot 2, and the slot 2 is the stone. So quickly making it happy, and then we're using again at 2, we're using again an item on it, face top position. So, but now it will use the same item what we have here, because we don't switch it. And here, for example, we have two options to do. You can, like we have defined here already, air or an empty hotbar beforehand. That means we can do here also do set select hotbar, and setting here to 1. That means we're using now air. And the thing is, we need to here have an extra step between it, because currently we don't do select hotbar before use item on or other way around. It's random, so, and it how you define it at the end. So be careful here and do with a specific ticks, or it can be also a good contribution if you want to Flint, if you want to make it easier and a fixed order. But the other idea is you can also select hotbar, or let me copy first the last assert which we have. Now it should be back to the default behavior. We have two options here also. It means we can also here setting on set slot, and in the slot here will be hotbar 2, count 1, item is for example here empty or Minecraft air. This will give you the options and says, okay, we ignore this and we can delete it, for example, because we're only using hotbar 2, because it's selected from the beginning, and we're setting that slot, so an empty slot, and using it again. This is also possible. And the last thing what I forgot in the part 1 to show you is you can use here, for example, one action multiple times. Because you saw it's the exact same code. So this action will be now executed in tick 1 and in tick 3. That means you need to know, and if you're seeing here, okay, why is here one tick empty, is okay because we're using the same action here. So I think in most cases I wouldn't recommend using it, but in some cases that can make sense and make it easy. For example, that you can state it here using the description, for example, for that, to use it correctly and to give it here a good idea. At the end, that will be everything, and I hope you learned a lot, and you can use now in writing your own Flint test. And all different variations now from this custom behavior about the inventory will be found in the repository, which is also linked in the video description. And after knowing how to write the few JSONs, you see, okay, for long tests it will be a lot of work. So we have also a recorder, which I spoiled in the Flint CLI video, which you can use, and this will be also my next video. So see you there, and happy Flint test writing, and hopefully many contributions here. See you soon. Bye bye.